give us the scoop. The Irish aren't done with the class of 25.
Yeah, when I sent you this note for us to talk about, you were like, I just want to make sure. Wait, did you say 2025, Mike? How about this? Yeah, Blue and Gold broke this news. A midweek official visit, Javari Flowers from Miami Northwestern, was in the 2026 class. We're seeing this more and more, these late reclasses where guys just like move up. And so he was going to be a high school senior, like a high school junior going to his senior year. And now he's a senior and he's about to graduate and head off to college. So he reclassed and he's the number 120 overall player, number 16 cornerback. I have theorized that this is a Juwan Sider connection with Sider, Notre Dame's running backs coach, being a Florida guy, but especially in the southern part of the state. I know Penn State was after Flowers originally, so that's my guess right now. And he is taking a lot of official visits in March, so like the 2026 class can't take official visits right now. But for the 2025 unsigned guys, you sure can. You can take official visits, and I think until like the end of April or something, if you're still out there and you're unsigned. Of course, Flowers being one of them. Auburn, Florida, Miami, I think are the bigger contenders for the Fighting Irish right now. Personally, I would be surprised if Notre Dame ends up landing Flowers, but I know folks in South Bend would not be surprised if he did. So my guess right now would be Florida, but I was told he had a really good visit and, a little bit more of a reserved, quieter kid, so he can be tough to read at times, but visits seemed to go pretty well, and he's pretty high in the Fighting Irish, so we'll see where it goes from here. But Javari Flowers, a 4-star cornerback, still considering Notre Dame, or Notre Dame's still considering a 25 prospect, I should say. I mean, they already signed 6 defensive backs, so maybe a 7th here, and probably one that would just be too good to pass up.
So, Mike, give us your thoughts right now. Is Notre Dame defensive line recruiting on a path that excites you?
Look, the 3 most maligned positions of Notre Dame recruiting since I've been covering the team, which was May 2019, quarterback, receiver, and defensive quarterback, receiver, and not defensive back anymore. That's kind of done. But just defensive line in general. Quarterback, I don't really see that as much. People are noticing, all right, there's Notre Dame signing quality guys. You got Noah Grubbs. He was big time in this 2026 class. You flip Blake Heber from Clemson even after the Deuce Knight fiasco, like CJ Carr, Kenny Minchie, Elite 11 finalist, Steve Angelian, Under Armour All-American. Like, I don't get as much complaints about quarterback recruiting, but receiver and defensive line, still. We're not going to talk about receiver now, but look, I know Notre Dame, it's early and these guys aren't committed, but Notre Dame's D-line board, we're about to go through each guy, and Notre Dame is like a co-leader for most of these top targets. We'll just run through it. So Rodney Dunham, I got a prediction for this 5-star to land at Notre Dame. Others do as well. This looks good for the Fighting Irish. Great visit. Notre Dame's trending up. Mikael Blade, Chicago Simeon, number 151 overall player, number 19 edge. I think that Notre Dame's going to land Mikael Blade. He's another that I've had a prediction in for quite a while to land at Notre Dame. I think it was last August. Sure was. And I still like where that one's at for the Fighting Irish. Ebenezer Ute, 6'4", 220-pound pass rusher, top 200 player in the country, number 22 edge. Notre Dame, Georgia, a couple others really battling for Ebenezer Ute. I would say they're easily in his top 2 or 3. Xavion Griffin-Haynes, North Carolina pass rusher, 6'6", 220 pounds. Notre Dame's going to host him in April. I don't know. I would call him the Fighting Irish, the leader for him. Same with Drake Quinn from Greater Atlanta Christians, but another 4-star pass rusher who's going to be visiting this spring. That's just the defensive ends that I thought of off the top of my head.
Wow.
That's a really good group of 5. Let's move to the interior defensive line. Tamari Simeon, 6'2", 275-pound, 4-star top 200 overall player. I think that Notre Dame could land him. Braden Jones is a Chicago Mount Carmel kid. He's committed to USC. Another interior defense lineman. The rest of the guys we're about to talk about are, D tackles or nose tackles. Probably not going to flip from USC, but Notre Dame's still in contact with him. Elijah Golden, his high school coach is Jared Clark, who was a quarterback and tight end for the Irish a couple decades ago. This is another highly touted 4-star defensive lineman who I think that Notre Dame might be a co-leader for. Noah Clark from Durham, North Carolina, another 4-star. First time he's going to visit will be this June. We'll see how that goes. Marcus Almada, I think it's a Notre Dame Clemson Penn State battle, 6'4", 280 pounds. Tiki Halla is a 4-star guy who's a top of the board guy. Looks like Notre Dame or USC. And then Kari Wilder, Notre Dame recently offered him. Him and Almada were offers the past couple weeks. So it's early for those guys. But, man, you just go through it. It's just like, man, Rodney Dunham, Mikhail Blade, Ebenezer Utade, Elijah Golden, Tiki Hall. I can see Notre Dame landing all these guys.
Wow.
And then that's not even to mention the 2027 class. Richie Flanagan, James Flanagan's younger brother, Notre Dame incoming tight end, Jim Flanagan's son. He just got a 4-star ranking. He's a top 300 overall player. I got a picking for him. There's a few 2027 guys already. You're like, you can already see what that board could look like in terms of commitments, just with all these guys with Fighting Irish ties. There's a kid, Braden Parks, who's Chris Zorch's godson. He's like 300 pounds going into his junior year, 6'5". He was just on campus. It's like, man, there is a lot to be excited about right now. Defensive line recruiting. I get it, Notre Dame fan. Mike, I'm not going to believe it till I see it. I get it. I totally get it. I get it. But just telling you, based on where things are trending, you might be excited pretty soon.
Wow, hearing Jared Clark's name. He was a part of a 6-quarterback class for Bob Davie. And that reminds me of a Bob Davie class. He did not have one offensive lineman in the class.
That sounds like USC. Sounds like USC's old classes, like Clay Helton and stuff, is like all these skill players, and USC would never sign an offensive lineman. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah. When's the last time you saw a 6-quarterback class? That's crazy.
You don't see that anymore. That's for sure. Well, that's just a sample of some of the recruiting talk, and you have been posting story after story at blueandgold.com.
Yeah, it's about what I'm going to do when we get off this call, Darren. Just go write some more intel and article, interviews, all that good stuff. So please go to blueandgold.com. Got $1 for a week offer right now. So if you want some spring practice intel, some recruiting updates, and everything in between, women's basketball, tournament coverage, everything, blueandgold.com is the place to be.
Mike.